Very good, Ram Prasad. Keep it up. Yep. Abhigna, over to you. Next 40 to 45 minutes you have to handle. Abhigna, your voice is not audible.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, now audible. Please start sharing your screen.
Sir. Hello everyone, I am Abhigna. I am your presenter for this Day 5 Python Bootcamp program. Today you will learn an interesting concept which is object-oriented programming. Today I am going to discuss object-oriented programming with real-world examples. So spend your quality and valuable time for next 40 to 45 minutes and listen this session. Trust me, you are going to learn different concepts with real-world examples. See, by the end of the session, you will learn all these concepts. You will learn what is object-oriented programming and importance of this OOPS concept, what is object, what is class, how to create object and class, what are class attributes, class variables, how to change class attributes, and you will also learn instance variables, why we use self-parameter, static method, and init constructor, special method. So all these concepts you will learn by the end of this session. See, today's topic is object-oriented programming, right? Learning by knowing each and every meaning is good practice to learn the content or to learn the concept, right? So today our topic is object-oriented programming. So I'm starting with defining each and every word. See, object. Do you know what is object? Actually, object is nothing but it is a combination of data and logic, and this represents real-world entity. Do you know oriented means some people say they are goal oriented. Then what is this goal? What is this oriented? Oriented is nothing but focusing on something. Okay. Then programming. Then what is programming? Programming is nothing but we will write down some series of instructions, and we will write down the series of instructions, and we will give these instructions to computer, and computer by these instructions computer will know what to do and what not to do. So now you know each and every meaning of this object oriented programming, right? So object oriented programming means we are focusing on objects, and by creating the objects we will instruct computer what to do and what not to do. So actually this object oriented programming is a type of programming. In this programming we will break the things into objects. Don't worry what objects will have, you will learn in couple of minutes. And we will break these things into object, and these objects will interact with each other. That is the main goal of object oriented programming. See, these objects are created from classes. Then what are classes? A class is nothing but it is a template, or we can say blueprint, or we can also say it as a design in which objects are created. So do you know one thing? Object-oriented programming encourages code to reuse through dry concept. D for don't, R for repeat, Y for yourself. So if oops have mouth, what it says, don't repeat your, hey developer, don't repeat your code, utilize me, it says like that. So this is the best advantage of oops concept. Do you know why OOPS concept is famous? Not only in Python, in every object-oriented programming languages, OOPS concept is famous. Do you know why? So because we are discussing now OOPS concept, right? You should know why this concept is famous. So OOPS concept is famous because it provides a clean program structure, and it also provides clean code. It also facilitates easy maintenance. That means we can easily maintain our code. We can also do many modifications to our code. Do you know the reason behind modifications to our code? See, the code can be reused because class is shareable in object-oriented program. That is the reason why we modify our existing code. One more reason is this is object-oriented programming is good technique to solve real-world problems by creating objects. Do you know in Python everything is object. For example, let me explain with real world example. Stock market prediction. It is real world problem. That means we have to predict the price of the stock market. So we can find solution for that by implementing this OOPS concept also. That means it is very good technique to solve real world problems by creating objects, by using classes, by using different OOPS concepts, etc. Do you know, in this picture you can observe creative minds never sleep. In the same way, try to use these object-oriented programming concepts in a creative manner. You can do wonders. Really you can. Now let me explain you what is object. Then I will explain you what is class. Then we will jump into the code. See, object means, let me explain you with real world example. Assume that you are working in a software company, or assume that you are working on a project. It might be big or small, any a complex project or easy project, any project. Assume that you are working on project. Then in that case, you need to think everything in point of objects. In Python, everything is object. If you are working on project, you have to think everything in point of object only. Ultimately, if you talk about programming world, what we do is we try to real world issue with the help of virtual world solution. Here, virtual world solution is nothing but just coding, programming, or softwares we build. See, these are everything coding or programming or softwares we build are virtual world solution. See, in the same way, in real world, we use objects. For example, to call someone, we need phone, right? Here, phone is object. See, in the picture, you can observe phones. So, phone is object. To go to college, we need vehicles. Some people go by bus, by car, by anything, by bicycle, anything. So, to go to college, we need vehicle. Here, vehicle is an object. To write something, we need book, right? So, book is object. See, in this picture, you can observe laptop. I mean, screen. Screen is object. And here we have shelf. Shelf is object. So everything is object. So now we know what is object, right? Then what objects will have? This is the main thing. Objects will have two things. One is attributes. Another one is behavior. Okay. Then what are these attributes and what are these behavior? Attributes are nothing but variables. See, a variable is nothing but it is a container where we store value, right? So attributes are nothing but variables. So objects will have certain attributes and objects will also have certain behavior. Attributes means your variables. Behavior means methods. Yesterday you have learned functions, right? So functions in object-oriented programming are called methods. Okay, behavior means methods. See, attributes means properties, or we can imagine it as data. So for example, my height is one attribute. My name is one attribute. My company, Indian Servers, name is one attribute. Your college name is one attribute. So we have so many real world examples, right? Then what is this behavior? Behavior means simply we can say as actions. Actions define our behavior, right? I'm speaking, I'm teaching, I'm walking, I'm presenting now, I'm presenting presentation. So these actions, teaching, presenting, walking, speaking, all this defines behavior. Now objects will have something where you store data and objects will have some behavior. Now we learned that, right? So if you want to store something in objects, you need to define behavior. So we need to define variables. Variables are nothing but attributes. If you want to define the behavior, you need to use methods. So do you know how to define a method? Using def space method name. So like that we can define a method. And I will show one thing. Okay, let me draw the picture. Then I will explain the concept. See, object-oriented programming means it is not only about different. Some people might think object-oriented programming means it is different syntax, but it is not. It is also it is the way you think. Now, for example, if you want to achieve anything in programming, you need to think about objects, right? Now, the moment you say you have a complex problem, think about one object. See, think this first one is think this as one object. Okay. And now if you want to achieve anything in programming, you need to think about objects, right? Then first think about one object, then think about multiple objects, then think about how can we connect them. What is the relation between this object and multiple objects? So this is the way how we implement in the real life, because if we think about the relationship between one object and multiple objects, then we will get many solutions for real world problems, because in OOPS concepts, we have so many concepts like object, class, encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism. So we have so many concepts, right? So think about objects. It's not about different syntax. Okay, now let me discuss class. What is class? Then class is nothing but it is a design, or we can say blueprint. For example, to construct a building, see here you can observe the picture of building construction. To construct a building, we need design of that particular building, right? That means how many floors should building have, how many houses should a floor have, etc. We should have that design. So by having that design only, see this is the design of that building. So by having design only, we can construct building, right? In the same way, if we have class, then we can create objects. So in simple, we can say class is nothing but design, object is nothing but real stuff, or we can say a real entity, or we can also say an object as instance also. Now let us see how to create object and how to create class. See, how to create class. A class is created by using class space class name, and class name should be always in Pascal case. So there are two type of cases. One is Pascal case, one is camel case. See, Pascal case means a first letter of first word will be in uppercase, and second word first letter also it will be in uppercase. Camel case means first letter of the first word will be in lowercase. So always class name should be defined by using Pascal case only. So like by this statement, we'll create class. Then inside class, we can define variables, we can define methods, whatever we want. Then by using class name, we'll create object. See, we'll instantiate that particular objects. For example, I am giving object name as P1. And how can I create this object? By using class name. Here, I use the name as my class. So by using the same name, I will create the object. Now I want to print this particular variable. How can I print this variable? So I will call the variable by using object name. So by this, we can print that variable. So class is created by using class space class name colon. Class name should always be in Pascal case. Remember that one. And object is created by using class name. Now, let me explain with another example. See, I will show one example. See, this is example program, how I create a class and how I kept different variables or methods inside class and how I created an object. See, here I created a class which is named as Indian server. See, class name should be always in Pascal case. So I is in uppercase and S is also in uppercase. Now I defined a variable called as form type. And for this variable, I assigned a value which is Indian servers form. See, in this example, one student fills Indian servers form. I want to print that student name who fills that form and the name of the internship that student selects in this particular company. So for that, I defined this I created this variable. Then I define method. So how can you define a method? By using def space our method name. Here I use it self parameter. Don't worry why we use this self parameter. You learn in couple of minutes. So inside this method, I print some statements. I want to print the name of the person who enters the form, and I want to print the internship he selected in Indian Servers company. Here I instantiated the object by using class name. See, with the help of object, I assigned values to name and internship. See, here I define a variable name, right? It is instance variable. And here internship is another variable. So with by using object name, I assign values to those particular variables. I assign name, a value for name is as Abhigna, and I assign value for internship variable as machine learning. Now, with the help of this object name, I want to print this method. Let us check. Let me run this cell. It takes few seconds. Okay, see, now you can observe the form which is filled by student is that the name of the student is Abhigna, and the internship he chosen in this, she chosen in this particular Indian service company is machine learning. So like this, we can create class and we can implement in real world examples. See, now you understood how to create class, how to create object, right? Now let me explain you class attributes. Class attributes are the attributes which are associated with class. So those are class attributes. Can we change a class attribute with object name? So let us check all these things. See, this is the example for creation of class variable. Here I created a class which names employee, class name is employee, and here I created a class variable with value as Google and company is the variable name. See, this is class variable is associated with class, right? So the variable which is associated with class is known as class variable, and here I created an object. With the help of object, I want to print the value of that particular company. So let me run this. We got Google. So we got output. So the variable which is associated with class is known as class variable. See, can we change a class variable through object name? So in many interviews or in rounds, they will give these type of questions. See here, let me see here. I created a class with class name as employee. Here I created two class variables. One is with one variable name is company and I assign Google as value, and another name is salary and I assign 1000 as value. Here I created two objects with names Abhi and Manu. I created objects with the help of class name. See here. Here we have company. I assign Google value. Google is the value for that company. I mean, company name is Google. Now I want to change that particular company from Google to Indian Service Company. So always remember one thing: a class variable can be a class variable is changed only by class name. So here I use a class name as employee because class name is changed only by using class name, and I want to change company variable value. So I given the variable and I want to change the value from Google to Indian servers. So the value which I want to give here, I wrote here. Now I will print that particular company. So by calling objects. See, let me run this. We got Indian servers because I changed the value from Google to Indian servers by using class name. So a class variable can be only changed by using class name. So let me change the class variable by using object name. Check what happens. Now see, will it change? Now I am changing class variable using object name. Object name Abhi. Will it change the class variable? So let us check the output now. See, when I change the variable company using object name, it gives Indian servers. When I print that particular variable, it gives Indian servers because it only changes that particular object value. That means Abhi. Object value it changes. But for when I print this Manu.company, it gives Google only because Even though if you try to change the class variable using object name, it will not change class variable. Instead of that, it will create new instance, new object for that particular variable and new value for that particular variable. So that is the reason why we should not change class variable using object name. We should change class variable using class name. Now instance variable. So instance variable is nothing but the variable which is, or instance attribute is nothing but the attribute which is associated with instance. That means which is associated with object. That means that particular attribute will belongs to only that particular object. For example, let me show you another example. Let me zoom it. See, in this example, these two are class variables because they are associated with class. And here I created two objects. And see, these are instance variable. This salary is instance variable. Why it is instance variable? Because it is associated with the object. It is associated only that particular object Abhi. And this is also an instance variable. This is also associated with only that particular object Manu. See, the variable which is associated with only that particular object is known as instance variable, or a variable which is associated with value with object is instance attribute. See, I am printing this particular variable. Let us check the output. See, we got 100 and 200. See, here we have Abhi dot salary. Here we have for Abhi object we have salary as 100. So it print 100. For Manu object we have salary as 200. So it print 200. Why don't it print 1000? You may get doubt, right? Why it will not print 1000 means compared to instance variable and class variable, the first preference goes to instance variable. That's why it will not print 1000. So it will print respective values of that particular object. Now let us discuss about self parameter. Self refers to instance of the class. Okay, let me explain you with example. Then you can easily understand the concept. Let me zoom it. See, what is the importance of self parameter? See, in this example, I created a class with class name as employee, and then I created one variable company, and I assigned a value for that variable is Google, and this is class variable. See here inside the class, I define one more method, that is get salary method, and here I pass it self as an argument. And inside this method, I am printing this statement, salary is 100. Now here I created object, and with the help of object, I call this get salary method. So let me run this cell, then I will explain the importance of self parameter. See, we got salary is 100 because in get salary method, we have a print statement salary is 100. That's why we got salary is 100 as output. See, let me remove now self parameter here. Now let me run this cell. See the changes. See, what we got is type error. See, get salary takes 0 positional argument, but 1 was given. See, here I didn't pass any argument, right? So that's why it says get salary method takes 0 positional argument. But it also says that 1 was given. What is where I didn't give value for, I didn't give any argument for this get salary method. But why it's showing 1 was given? Because self is automatically passed with a function call from the object. Whenever I call this function, whenever I call this method with the help of object, self is the parameter that Python automatically passes self as a parameter. Now internally Python automatically passes self as parameter, right? Then we should view that argument, right? So that's why we'll keep here self. Now if we run this, I will not get output. So not only self, here we can keep any anything. So for example, I am keeping Abhigna. Even though it works, not only self, we can keep any word, but for good readability of the code, it is the good practice always use self as first parameter. Actually, Python passes automatically. It is automatically passed with a function call from any object without self. Okay. See, just for to increase the readability of the code, it is good practice to always use the self parameter as the argument. We can keep instead of self anything, but it is good practice to use self. Okay. See here, instead of self, I use it in place of self text. So even though it works, we can keep anything, but for good readability, it is good practice to use self. Now, can we define a method without self parameter? You may get doubt, right? Let me show you. See, in this example, sometimes we need a function that doesn't use self parameter, or else you need a function. For example, I want a function. I don't want to keep self as a parameter, but I should get output without error. How can we do such type of problems? Means for this, for example, see in this code, I have this is we have created class. This is class variable, and I have defined a method which is get salary. In that particular method, I want to print salary is 100. Now, 1 minute. Let me comment. Now, forgot about this statement. Now I define another method which is greet method. It will print hello world. Okay. Now I created object for this class, and I call the get salary method with the help of that object, and I also called greet method with the help of object. See, the difference is here in this method I pass it self as a parameter. In this method, I don't pass self as an argument. What happens? Obviously, we will get error, right? We got error. See, greet takes 0 positional argument, but 1 was given. But I should not get now this error. Then is there any way? Yes, is there? We have one way where we can make that method as so there is one way in which we can make that particular method as static method. So if you make the method as static method, then we can there is no need to use self as a parameter. So at the rate static method, this is the syntax. So by applying this special decorator, this method will be static method. So even though if you don't pass your self as parameter, we will get output without error. See, now we got output, right? Salary is 100 and hello world. So that's the use of static method. So a static method means it doesn't receive any. Sir?
Abhigna, always zoom the page.
Okay, sir. Okay then. A static method means it doesn't.
Also, you can increase the font also. From next time onwards, increase the font directly.
Okay,
from
sir.
above, menu will be there. You can use that menu and you can increase the font also.
Okay, sir. See, a static method means why static method don't need self as a parameter means static method doesn't receive any reference argument. That means, see, whenever object is called, whenever that particular method is called by using object, I said self is passed automatically by Python, right? But for static method, it don't receive any reference argument like self, whether it is called by an object or whether it is called by a class. Static method will not receive an argument. So that's the use of static method. Now there is one special method, that is init method. It is also known as init constructor. Actually, it is a special method which runs as soon as the object is created. See, this init method is also known as constructor. See here, init method. Okay, I will show you the. I will show you with example. See, this is the Python program to demonstrate the importance of init constructor. Do you know here in this program, I have created a class with class name as employee, and I define a special method which is init method. So init method is defined by using underscore underscore init underscore underscore. In the argument, we can have any number of arguments based on our program. See, in this special method, I printed one statement which is employee is created. Now I define one more method which is get salary method, and here also I want to print statement called Indian servers. See here I created an object. I instantiated the object by using class name and employee. Now by using the particular object which I created, I am calling this method get salary method. So what will be the output? So here observe, I am calling get salary method here. That means it will print the statement which is in get salary, right? But see, I'll show you output. See, what actually is, see, when I call this get salary method, it should print this statement, Indian servers, but it also prints the statement which is there in init method. Why? So you may get doubt, right? Why it also prints the statement which is there in init method? Because as soon as the object is created, init method is called automatically. See, even though if we don't have this one, okay, let me run this. See now, as soon as the object is created, the first thing is init method is called automatically, and the statements which are present in init method will print automatically. That's the power of this special method. Yeah. See now, up to now, I have discussed many topics, right? Like class variables, instance variables, static method, init method, special method. So, and why we use self, all those I have discussed now, right? Now, let us understand some practice questions. See, to motivate you, just I want to say one thing. The only thing to do great work is to love what we do, right? So now try to love coding, try to love programming. You will enjoy, which I implement in my real life. So, okay. Now let us see some practice questions. See, here first question is create a class programmer for storing information of few programmers working at Indian Servers Company. Let me join. Okay, now we want to create a programmer. So we want to create a class with class name as programmer. So I have created a class with class name as programmer, and I want to store information of few programmers working at Indian Service Company, right? So for that, I am defining a class variable company, and I am giving value as Indian Servers. Now I am defining a special method called init method, and in init method, I am defining some variables with variable names as name, and another variable name is bootcamp, and I will assign value while I am calling the object. Now I am defining one more method, that is get information method, because it will print the information in this statement. See, I want to print the information, the name of the Indian Servers programmer is, and it will print the name and bootcamp. I mean the programmer who was attending this bootcamp. So it will print that also. And here if you observe, here you will get one different syntax. Here you see first character is F, then in quotes we have string. See, it is string formatting technique. So in string formatting technique, the syntax is first character will be F and the string which we want to format should be in single or double or triple quotes. Okay. And here you observe some curly braces. In curly braces, we call that particular variable with the help of instance, right? Self is nothing but assume it as an instance. Why we see, it will print the value of that particular variable. Now I am creating two objects, Abhi and Manu. So with the help of class name and I am passing the values. See here, we have name and bootcamp, right? So as now we are attending Python bootcamp, so I have given my name and Python bootcamp name. And now with the help of the object, I am calling this get info method. Now let us check the output. See, if you observe here, you will see the output. The name of the Indian server programmer is Abhigna and the bootcamp is Python bootcamp. And the name of the Indian servers programmer is Manogna and the bootcamp is Python bootcamp. So in this way, we can create our own programs. And our second program is, so write a class calculator capable of finding square, cube and square root of a number. See. See, for this program, I created a class called calculator. I defined a init method, which is special method. And here I define one variable with variable name as number. And here I define, I want to calculate square of that particular number, right? So I have defined square method and I want to calculate square root also. So I have defined square root method and I want to calculate cube of that number also. So I have defined cube method. Now in square method, I want to print the value of that particular number square. So for this, I use it here. See, it will print whatever, see here I gave 25, right? So whatever the number you give here, it will, what it does means that number power 2 will give square, right? And here that number power 3 will, sorry, that number power 0.5 will give square root and that number power 3 will give cube. For example, let me run this. See, here I gave the number as 25. That's why the value of 25 square is 625. The value of 25 square root is 5. The value of 25 cube is this number. So even though if you change number, it works. So any number we can calculate. See, we got output. And our third question is, see, for this program, add static method to greet the user with hello. So for this for the above program, we should add static method. See, just for the above program, I defined one method which is greet method and I print the statement hello, welcome to best calculator of the world, and I make that method as a static method by using this decorator. See, if I call this particular method, it also prints hello, welcome to best calculator of the world. So just here I didn't pass any self parameter. So without passing here self parameter, I define that method as static method. We already discussed the importance of the static method. And our fourth question is, try to change the self parameter inside the class to something and observe the changes. See, I have already explained this. See here, instead of self, so the question is change self. Instead of self, if we place anything, it will give output or not. So instead of self, I'm giving something else. I'm giving some India. So even though it works, it will not give error. So here also you should give India. See, if you run this, see, we got output. So even though if you change the self parameter to something else, even though it works, it will not give any error. But for good readability of the code, we prefer self as the first argument. Now, the final practice question. Create a class with class attribute A. Now, I want to create a class. So, I'm creating a class with class name as sample and with class attribute as A. Attribute means variable. So, here I am giving variable as A and I am giving value as my name. Now, create an object from it. So, I am creating object for this particular class sample. Then, after creating object, you directly using object.a is equal to 0. Just you change the attribute. Say this is class attribute, right? So here we are changing class attribute using object name. Now what will happen? Will it change class attribute? Will it change the value of class attribute or will it change the value of object? So that is the question. See, if I run this, it prints. So I have given two print statement. Print sample.a. That means it will print the class attribute, and this statement print the object attribute. See, class attribute is printed as Abhigna because even though we change the attribute with object name, it does not change the class attribute. We have Abhigna as output only. It does not change the class attribute. See here I am printing object.a. That means here we got 0 as output because for this particular object A, value is 0. I mean, for this particular object, we have a variable. This is instance variable, right? For this, we have value as 0. So by this, we can understand a class attribute is changed by using only class name. We should not change the class attribute using object name. Yeah. Okay, we will continue remaining concepts tomorrow. We have some more other concepts like polymorphism, inheritance, all these concepts. Because I don't want to mess all these concepts in one day. No problem, we'll continue tomorrow as now time is 7. Just I want to say one thing, learn each and every concept by knowing meaning of it. So if you have any doubts, just Google it. So Sai Satish, CEO of Indian Service Company, always says one word, which is if you don't know anything, just Google it. Really, I'm inspired by that word. I'm implementing in my real life. So see, in the middle of the session, I used some sentences like creative minds never sleep. And like that I use it because I thought this session should be some contentful and I thought this session should spread some positivity. That's why I used those sentences in the middle of the session, nothing more than that. Anyway, thank you for spending your valuable and quality time for 1 hour. Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope you learned something new. Thank you, Satish sir, for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abhigna. Thank